Greetings, viewers. Welcome back to Phasmophobia for another weekly challenge. This time it's detectives only. Without further ado, let's hop in and see what devs have in store for us this week. Okay, so here we are in Edgefield. Had some technical issues, so hopefully that doesn't continue. But anyway, I believe this challenge is a no evidence challenge, which is I've done this challenge before, and I didn't really think of it at the time, but it is quite strange that they chose Edgefield for this. Yep. I can't quite remember exactly what, but I'm pretty sure this is no evidence. Detectives only. And why I say it's a bit strange they chose Edgefield is there's, I think, only 4 no evidence, so 4 challenges with no evidence as part of the challenge. There's this one, detectives only, no evidence, funnily enough, on Grafton. The Apocalypse draws near, which is kind of like a slightly easy version of Apocalypse. Although it's on a more difficult map because it's on the small Sunny Meadows. Is that shut before? Yeah, Sunny Meadows restricted. And then there's what's the other one called? Survival of the Fittest. That's right, Survival of the Fittest, which is also 0 evidence, and it's on this map as well. It's on Edgefield. So two of the 4 no evidence challenges are on Edgefield, and Edgefield, it's particularly strange because Edgefield is not a great map for no evidence. It's hard to do a number of different tests on. Like the gin test is a bit difficult. It's by far the worst of the small maps when it comes to looping, other than Camp Woodwind. I think even Sunny Meadows Restricted is slightly better, because you are in constant line of sight around here, and this is the only looping spot. Gins, you need to have distance, so the only real places you can test the gin is like here, over here, or along this corridor in general. Everywhere else the distance isn't really long enough for it to speed up. Before it then speeds down again, because it needs to be further than 3 meters away from you, I think. So Edgefield's a very tough map. It sounds like... Was I up here? The audio can be a bit strange. Yeah, no, it did say it was down there. On stairs, there's kind of like a point where you go between... I think it's pretty high up. Go between the floors. I think it's actually at the top of the stairs, so the occlusion can be a bit strange. Doesn't seem like it's over here, is it? See, I would have missed this, but unless it was... So yeah, I wasn't quite sure whether I'm on this floor or that floor, because the occlusion... That's so bright now that it looks like it's kind of like a cold breath. That's why I froze for a second. No, it's definitely on this level. That's probably this one. Yes, okay. Let's open these doors now. The reason I'm doing that is, so there's going to be, I'm pretty sure, no evidence. And we can check. You love this door, don't you? So I'm doing this just because if it uses a Uray ability, I don't know if it has to pick a door that's open to actually show up. I'm not quite sure. We'll have to find out. So I'm going to get some stuff in to test what we can test. Oh, and I forgot to drop my light. and then I'll cut ahead. Okay, so here we are. We have no Wraith, that's for sure. I'm actually wondering, have you changed rooms? There's a lot of throwing there, friend. No, it does not look like you've changed rooms. Blowing out some candles. Blowing them all out. Not an on-rare, most likely, because of this. On-rare should hunt 100% of the time. Can be a bit buggy, I think. So maybe we'll light some more candles. Yeah, we'll light this one too, hey? There we go. Where are you? Are you here? Are you close? Where are you? Take pictures of these to make sure I don't get them by accident instead of a ghost photo. Where are you? Are you here, ghost? Show yourself. Give us a sign. Show yourself. Where are you? Just gonna make sure I remember that. Where are you? Show yourself. Where are you? It's coming out here quite a bit. Is it doing anything in... So it's not really seeming to move anything far away. It threw that while I was in here, which is a decent chance it's not a shade. Might be difficult to find a phantom using the photo cam because I have a feeling ghost events are low. So we're at like 77, I think. I just want to check, make sure I've got something up there. Let's throw all this over here. I have a feeling, yes, this is our ghost possession. How, hang on, goodbye. Goodbye. Just make sure we have an electronic up here, and we'll pull this out. And definitely hasn't hunted yet, so there's a 50-50 chance, I think, every time it blows out a candle now that it'll try to hunt. So I need to ask it like 6 times, I think. How old are you? 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 Goodbye. Let's double check. The reason I use that one is because I just can't remember. I can't remember the others. Oh no, I went too far. A lot of activity there. That's right. We can test a couple of things, or you can always drop our sanity again. I should have grabbed one of these. I had wanted to get under 70%. Sorry, under 60%, but I stuffed up somehow. I thought they're 5%. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're 10%. But then I would have dropped even further. Never mind. This is suspicious. Pretty suspicious. Could really put a crucifix out here. Now they will act as a crucifix against an on-rare, but I have a feeling it's not an on-rare because of the... It should have hunted. Okay. Sounds like it's probably normal. Whoa! That there is a classic phantom. See how near invisible it was? Alrighty, phantom. Interesting. I think it may have actually been coming to me in the hallway sometimes because it kept flickering the lights out in the hallway. But that was, you saw the very, very long invisible portions of its blinking, right? That time period for a normal ghost is a maximum of 1 second. For a phantom, it's at least 1 second every time. So between 1 and 2 seconds, I think. So they can be very hard to see. There we go. Insanely difficult to see it. So there we go. On to the next one. Okay. Let's go with that again. That went pretty well. So again, I brought the camera in to try and get the phantom confirmed. That's right. Confirmed with what was I going to say? Its photo ability. So if you take a ghost photo of a phantom, it will not appear in the photo, and the photo will have no glitching effect alongside it. So normally a photo should have some glitching effect, whereas I don't have the camera on me. Otherwise, I'd take a photo of just nothing and show, without the ghost, there's usually no glitching effect. And the way the phantom actually works is it registers that you've taken, and it'll actually say ghost photo. So it's often best if you don't have the book filled up. But of course, ghost photos can be risky too, because you can also just take a photo at the end of a ghost event and it look like it'll appear like it disappeared, but sometimes it's just the end of the event, right? But what's really diagnostic is you have it here saying ghost photo, also taking a photo of something else, because the game's photo system can be a bit wonky. Can also screw you over. But it'll say ghost photo, there'll be no ghost and no glitching effect. And the reason that is the way it is because the game registers that it's a ghost photo. Then it makes the ghost visibly disappear the next frame, and it saves the photo in the following frame, so the ghost actually isn't present in the ghost photo. That's how the game, how they implemented it, basically. So it's one frame, the ghost is there, it sees you've taken a ghost photo that's 3 stars or 2 stars or whatever. Then it vanishes the ghost, then it saves the photo. Again, I'm not sure if it's actually per frame, but that's basically how the game calculates it anyway. I don't really see a ghost. It might be in basement. I thought I heard some thumping while I was talking. You are in here. Okay. This one? Yeah, alright. Well, let's bring some stuff in. This is it's a bit of a challenging ghost room, because the ghosts can move a lot, and there isn't... there's some stuff to hit. It's all over here though, and I don't know. The amount of times I've had ghosts in this room, but they'll never touch these shoes. It's really weird. They're more often to touch this dog than the shoes. I mean, I'd rather touch the dog too, but it's still a little weird. So I'm probably going to grab some stuff and then skip ahead. Pretty nice throw there while I was in the room. I haven't really gotten anything into the room yet, but that's just an observation. decreases the chance it's a shade. Okay, we're kind of set up. I think he's going to be more over here. So we're going to set up all this over here. You don't actually need a crucifix for this. The Onryo test. It's just that the Onryo test obviously starts a hunt, so it can be a little safer, basically, to have a crucifix there to catch the hunt. Now, tier 1's a bit trash for this, but it's what we'll have to do. That's what we have, so that's all we can do. Should really be turning on lights too for Mare, because really multitasking is the key to no evidence, doing no evidence well. I just have a hunch. Hang on, what the frick was that? It's just... Huh? Is this always on this table? Is there always a pot on this table? Teapot? Really? Oh, one of these burnt out, I think. That's the disadvantage of using the 3. Let's see how many... Did you burn out? No, you were blown out. Okay. It won't relight if it's... If these are like this, they have to have been blown out. But if I couldn't relight that one, see how these have still got visibly a fair bit left. This one here was almost done, but I could still light it, so therefore it had to have been blown out. What was that? That was this, right? I think it's moved rooms, or it was always in this room. If that pot comes from the kitchen, I'm thinking maybe poltergeist. But if it comes from the table here, I'm thinking banshee. What really kind of confused me was when I first came in here after putting the salt down, it was over here, it threw the ball over here. And then I was standing over here just looking for orbs, and it kind of felt like it walked on top of me. It can do that at random though, so that's why I need further testing. But it is a touch suspicious. Yeah. It's not too bad, but it's a little suspicious. But it also is throwing a lot. Like an absolute ton. It may have changed favorite rooms. Trying to give me a whisper. That's significant because that would rule out Goryo, but I don't know if it was just coming to me so much that it made this cold. This is part of the problem. You kind of need to keep testing for other things too. Like Mare, for example. I don't know the range on the Mare's ability. This does definitely seem to be... I guess it's been more than 10 seconds. Let's go back over here. Okay, it's not a gin, I think. Is that right? Yep. No gin. Gins can't tell if the breaker, so we don't have to do a gin test. Let's go to some more light switching. So the mare should almost instantly turn the light off. After it's turned on. It really doesn't seem to be coming in here. I don't think. So, just wondering, probably should start checking for. Hang on, what was that? Me? Oh, hang on, does this actually? Oh, it does too. Look at that! I didn't know that. Interesting. Let's go check our sanity. Insanity loss. Don't know what I was at before, but I think that kind of rules out Oni. I think I would have lost more than that. Probably. We can check Oni later anyway. Right. I'm getting a bit bored. Oh yeah, there was the ghost event. It's less likely to be a shade. How old are you? How old are you? Goodbye. I did not want to pick that up. I don't know why I picked that up. Confirm. We are at 57, 56, 55, somewhere around there. Let's see. Let's see if we have a ghost that will try and kill me at this point. I should have taken a photo, but I wasn't thinking of that at the time. Ah, definitely not Noni. Now we should be in hunting range of like everything, basically. Oh, it can't be a Jin either. I don't know why I just circled. That was an accident. They seem to be reasonably. They feel like short hunts. I'm not sure if they really are, or if I'm just imagining it. Oh, really? The reason I'm doing this is because could be. It was a bit risky. I mean, I have a smudge stick, which helps. But it honestly could be a shade or a deogen. I don't think it's a mare. Mare should have tried to kill me already, I think. So it's standing here in the same ghost room as it in the actual ghost room. Hello, ghost. What are you doing, hey? What's up? What's happening? You gonna do anything? You gonna attack me? Hmm? Where are you? How old are you? Are you French? Are you friendly? Where are you? Where are you? Are you here? So that was a shadow ghost event too, I think. It was not just transparent, it was actually shadow. Maybe it was transparent. Where are you? And in a ghost ball. Where are you? Which really increases the odds that it's a shade. How old are you? Goodbye. See how it's doing stuff now that I'm not there? It's pretty shady behavior if you ask me. I like that, how the salt kind of glows. That's pretty cool. That's thanks to the new lighting. Overall, I think it's an improvement, but yeah, it still looks, some things look a bit weird. Like, it looks a bit weird close up. Like, anyway, from a distance it kind of looks better, I think, and then from getting close up it looks bad. Oh my god. Well, now you can hunt me. Not if I'm in the same room as you. I think this is a shade, right? It'll probably leave the room and kill me, or try and kill me. But this is kind of what you expect from a shade. It's doing stuff when you're not there. If there's a player in the room with it, it stops kind of doing almost anything, right? So it stops throwing. Everything kind of stops. It doesn't do ghost events until your sanity gets down below, well, it's basically the higher your sanity, high sanity blocks ghost events for a shade. Shade will fail between 100% and 50%, and as your sanity goes down, the chance of it failing also goes down. So at 100%, it's 100%, 50%, 0% chance to fail. So then it starts doing ghost events relatively normally. But as you can see, because we're at 25% sanity here, the only real ghost it could either be is a Thay. I seriously doubt that. So what I'm going to do is just leave the room now. We'll just let it hunt. Grab this. Although, you know, whatever, it doesn't really matter. We're just going to let it hunt. Oh no, we'll let it hunt so I'll get you here today. So Thays, if you've been near them enough, which I haven't really been near this one, so I really don't think this is the case, you can age them enough. So what else about shades? They do ghost balls and shadow ghost events more. And that's what we've been seeing out of this. So yeah, under 50% sanity, ghost events will be roughly normal. Interactions, it shouldn't be able to do most interactions while you're in the room with it. So we kind of see that when it went to a different room, it's quite active, but when I'm over there, it's doing nothing. Its hunting threshold's 35%, which we're well below right now, and it's still not hunting. Here we go. Come over here. Hello, 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 hello. Hello there, buddy. So you're normal, you're speeding up normally. Uh-oh, I could die here. Oh no, because it's such a short hunt. Yeah. As you see, it's so easy to block a shade from hunting too, just by accidentally being in the same room as it. Especially because you need such a low sanity for it to hunt. As you could hear, it was normal speed, speeding up like normal in line of sight. It's a shade. There we go, shade, classic shade. There we go. So that shade, it kind of caught me a little bit off guard because I wasn't near it. I was, you know, and this is kind of the difficulty in, what I mean by caught me off guard, not that it was going to kill me, but that I took a little longer to figure it out because I wasn't in the ghost room with it. And that was partly because I was checking to see, I don't know why I did that, checking to see if it was walk to me, which a banshee will often walk to you. And because of that, I wasn't in the same room as it for a long time. So the difficulty is like juggling your checks. Sometimes doing some checks will be detrimental to your other checks. And that's something you just need to balance, basically. And you're going to probably get it wrong sometimes. Right? I certainly do. Alright, that's probably the best hiding spot on the map. Excellent. Hello, ghost. Where are you? Hello, hello, hello. Test. No, actually, I don't know if hello actually works. Show us. Give us a sign. They definitely work. Shut this. It's very quiet ghost, this one. So yeah, usually shades, you start to pick up that they're shades if you're standing in their ghost room for a long time and they're not doing anything. But because I was testing the Banshee and running around testing other things, it took me a little while to catch on that, hey, this might be a shade. And it was the sanity checks, really, that kind of were the nail in the coffin for me. As I kept dropping my sanity, it wouldn't do anything. And then standing in its ghost room, even below 35% sanity, it wouldn't kill me still. And that's just guaranteed. You're talking about a shade there. Because it can't hunt when there's a player in the room. Same room as it. But what can happen... Very nice. Okay. You're here. Have you done anything? Not really. Don't think so. Interesting. What happens is the shade can just roam to the room directly next to where you're standing, and then it will hunt. It can hunt anyway. And ghosts often roam just like this, do virtually nothing and then walk back in. So it's not uncommon. Whoops. I should be doing that anyway. So no orbies but looks. I mean, some people find it more fun to figure out mimics in other ways, but this is certainly the fastest way to figure out a mimic, right? Mimic, its orb doesn't count as evidence, so you can see it very easily. It's super easy. Some people find that too easy, and I can understand that sentiment, right? But I don't want to take 2 hours to figure out a mimic, because mimics can be like because it's totally random, right? Sometimes they're really obvious. Like if you see my Christmas one where I try to do it on Apocalypse mode, the Christmas celebration, I tried to build the gun in Apocalypse difficulty Sunny Meadows, on Apocalypse difficulty Sunny Meadows. This one probably counts too. Yep, nothing. And first it was normal. Actually, I think first it was fast. It was a little bit fast. Then it was normal. Then it, whatever. Then it became a Diogen, and I was like, you weren't a Diogen before. Diogen is the one that can't always knows where you are, super fast when it's far away and slow when it comes near. So it was like really obvious that it just happened to turn into a Diogen. So this is for the mayor. Let's have a look. It was a full minute. Oh, I had camera. Why didn't I take a photo? Wonder what my sanity was actually at. I think I will have lost more than that. So it's probably not known here. Why didn't I take a photo? It's, for one thing, it's probably not this time. It's a shade. It's very unlikely for a shade to do that. Let's maybe drop our sanity a little more using the board to try and accelerate stuff, because just ghost events, interactions, and etc. Increased by there's actually 4 main things you can do. You can drop your average team sanity, turning off the light in the room where the ghost is standing. Obviously the ghost can move those, so yeah, it helps, but that was me. I should have done what I was doing before. Uh-oh. Jin? Pretty sure it was a djinn. Did you hear how it sped up? When it got within line of sight of me, and then went back to normal speed. But we'll just double check that. Because I made sure I had an electronic in that room. So Raiju is one of your other contenders for a ghost that I forgot what I was going to say because of the hunt. Because that kind of surprised me a little bit. I was pretty sure I was fine because I actually had a smudge. If I didn't have a smudge, then I would have been in a lot of trouble. Raiju's the other one where you get you get normal speed, but then it speeds up. But it's always with electronics, and I made sure I had the EMF detector. You could hear it in that room, and it wasn't fast at the start of the hunt. It wasn't fast until it came to line of sight. So the djinn, what happened there? Why I was kind of surprised, I didn't use the board, if you noticed. So I just checked my sanity, and I was at 75%. Or so. I must have been a little bit lower looking at this, you know. I must have been around 65%. But I knew that I shouldn't have dropped by 20% because the djinn has an ability that if first of all the djinn's abilities only work when the breaker is on. It's the first thing that's important. Breaker must be on. Secondly, for this particular ability, it leaves an EMF 2 on the breaker, which is pretty useless. It's pretty hard to actually test. Here, you might be able to hear an EMF from over here, maybe, but I kind of doubt it. I mean, it's possible. Because you have to be in the room with the ghost, and it uses its ability on you, eats 20% of your sanity, and leaves an EMF on the breaker. Sometimes, like, you know, if the ghost was upstairs and the EMF was in the basement, there's no way you'd be able to. You have to have a player standing at the EMF. It's the only way you can really test that. But a sudden drop in sanity is very suspicious. Because it can just spam this ability. You can just eat all of your sanity quite quickly. It's pretty... I actually don't know what the cooldown is, but I've had them use it fairly aggressively before. This was pretty tame. Its other ability is the speed up that you heard. When it came in line of sight of me, it suddenly became faster. Let's go see if we can test that again, actually. This is why one of the reasons this map's hard. Do you have to? Because you need to be at least... glad that crucifix is so crap that it didn't actually stop the djinn. Because you need to be at least, I think it's 3 meters away. So it needs 3 meters. And then, here we go. That's normal speed. Goes really fast. And then when it can't see me anymore because of the smudge, it slows down again. It's classic djinn. So it needs to be more than 3 meters away from the target that it sees. The breaker must be on. And it must have line of sight. That's the other thing. It can't actually, like, it doesn't happen just from sensing electronics. Anything like that, as you could kind of hear there, it definitely did not speed up till it hit here. Once it could see me, it then would and accelerate towards me. And that's the defining characteristics of djinn. Very powerful ghost because it can both early hunt by draining your team's sanity, and look, it must have done it again. Although, is that enough? That might have just been from being in the dark, was it? That's crazy. Anyway. Might have just been from being in the dark. We'll double check. Because it's not really enough. I think it's usually 20%. Alright, there we go. There's a djinn for you for that last one for the challenge. Again, what really cemented it for me was that speed up. The instant it got in line of sight of me, it sped up. And then when it got within 3 meters, I think I inaccurately said when I hit the smudge, it could no longer see me. It actually would have already slowed down anyway, even if it could see me, because it was within the 3 meters. So once it gets within 3 meters of you, it'll slow down. But then it'll be normal speed, and the normal speed can speed up. And actually, whilst it is normal speed, if you stay in line of sight for long enough, it is pretty hard to do and not die. Only some crazy players tend to do this. Then it will actually speed up to faster, because the base ghost speeds, if you keep them in line of sight for long enough, is actually higher than the enhanced speed from the Jin's ability. So the Jin can be pretty scary in that regard. But in general, what you would experience if people haven't been standing in line of sight, particularly if you're a team, sometimes some players might, you play on a big map, might have a Jin chase them down a hallway and get really, really fast just from the base speed. But if that doesn't happen and no players are in line of sight of it, it'll generally return back to pretty much normal ghost speed after it gets within 3 meters, because the ability will turn off. But being normal ghost speed, if the brake is off, if it's within 3 meters of you, or if it doesn't have line of sight, then it will behave like a normal ghost in its speed. That means that if it does have line of sight but the brake is off, for example, it will speed up like a normal ghost, because ghosts normally speed up in line of sight. So that's just something to be aware of. Jinns, when their ability is not active, when those 3 criteria that they need to have active, if one of them is missing, so the other option is, of course, if it's really close to you. If you're looping it around a kitchen table in Tanglewood, for example, but you actually get within line of sight of it sometimes, or all the time if you're really crazy, it will speed up like a normal ghost for most of that, because for most of that loop it is going to be closer than 3 meters to you. Sometimes it'll be further away, I think, only at the edges though. But yeah, that's a Jin. If you don't have a smudge for testing that on edge field, I recommend using the couch instead. It's still very dangerous for a Jin, because you have to try and lure it around the couch and then get out. You can do it though, and then what you do basically is you break line of sight. So you make sure it comes around the couch. You being on the left, like you being on where I normally stand, you're directly opposite the stairs, so you're staring at the stairs. You bait it around the left side of the couch in front of the TV to the right side where the window is, and then beeline for that room's door, the right side of it. Break line of sight by just getting yourself behind the wall that's next to the front door, and then break line of sight again as quick as you can to get up the stairs. And you might survive if you don't have a smudge, but it is a bit dangerous against the Jin. I have seen it done though. It is possible. I don't think I've ever done it. I have done other ghosts, but not a Jin. And the main reason for that is it crosses the distance from that room's entrance so much faster than most other ghosts, because it gets in line of sight. So, but if you have no other options, that's the best spot to stand to test for a Jin if you don't have a smudge stick. Oh yes, I meant to say, I forgot that I was hit by that Ghost Ball Ghost event. I don't know why I was confused. I just forgot about that Ghost Ball Ghost event. The abilities used one. I only did it once, and that's the reason why I only lost 10%. When I was like, how did I lose like 10, 15%? I don't understand. And it was like 5% from being in the dark, 10% because I got hit by the airball ghost event there when I was coming in. I just forgot about it, because the Jin is definitely 20%. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching, and I do recommend you give these a go if you can. They can be a bit daunting, the zero evidence challenges, unless you have some friends to help you out that are knowledgeable. But if you do, you can pool your knowledge together, and I'm sure you can do this one. So next time it comes around, I recommend you give it a go. Thanks again, and until next time, remember, dose makes the poison.